A lot of you are fucking creepy. Really, you're fucking creepy. And I think a lot of you anti-MGTOWs, quite frankly, are fucking dangerous and obsessive compulsives.
Yes, we are going to destroy and fix you and make you carbon copies of ourselves. Oh my gosh. You know, I wish this guy was trolling, but he's actually serious. This is really sad. Good morrow, ladies and gents. It is I, the Crimson Crusader, your favorite anti-MGTOW YouTuber that has come to defend anti-MGTOW from the manosphere, which seems to have become the male safe space where only opinions that fit their agenda are heard, while you get silenced and shamed for thinking for yourself. Hello everyone, it's been a while since I've uploaded a video on this channel. I hope you're all doing well during these crazy times we are living in, especially with all the, with the virus and all that stuff going on. Today, I want to respond to a video made by a MGTOW sympathizer, a sympathetic non-MGTOW YouTuber who calls himself MAGA Man. Now, recently he made a video criticizing the anti-MGTOW movement, and in this video I hope to respond to the questions and concerns and overall his statements that he's been making about our movement and about our community. Now, first off, I want to say that I have nothing personal against MAGA Man. I respect his passion and his outspokenness. However, I strongly disagree with what he's been saying about us. Now, I want to make it abundantly clear that I am here just to respond to the content of his video. If I sound a little harsh, I apologize. Please don't take it personally. I am just very passionate about what I believe in and what I stand for. Now, also, I will be responding to certain clips that are either the most relevant or important to the main topic of MAGA Man's video. I'm also going to be paraphrasing some of his arguments. Now, when I bring up statistics or make any claims, these claims refer to the United States, as I have not researched the statistics in other countries. Now, to avoid any confusion, I want to reiterate that MAGA Man is not a MGTOW. He is not a MGTOW, guys. However, the word MGTOW will be used a lot because many of his arguments are either similar to MGTOW or I'm connecting MGTOW to his arguments in some way. Anyways, let's get started. Before I even start responding to anything, it is important that we differentiate anti-MGTOW from MGTOW critics. Anti-MGTOW is a movement of people who disagree with most, if not all, of MGTOW and seek to diminish the growth of MGTOW in some way through some sort of action. Those who claim to be against MGTOW extremism and disagree with a few aspects of MGTOW are MGTOW critics, not anti-MGTOW. The reason is obvious. A critic is someone who is critical of MGTOW. An anti-MGTOW goes a step further and opposes and fights against MGTOW. This is important to know because in this video, MAGA Man will confuse anti-MGTOWs with MGTOW critics. One more thing I want to mention that although certain anti-MGTOWs can be critical of the manosphere, anti-MGTOW and anti-manosphere are not the same thing. This is evident considering you could have an MRA who is anti-MGTOW. MRAs are part of the manosphere, but they may strongly disagree with the MGTOW perspective on many levels, such as disagreeing on what the problems are and how to solve them. Now let's respond to what MAGA Man has to say about the anti-MGTOW movement.
Who do you people think you are? I'm talking to these anti-MGTOWs, these haters, these trolls, these sad channels that walk their way into the manosphere.
Who do we think we are? We are anti-MGTOWs. We are people with values who respectfully disagree with you. The video just began and you're already misrepresenting our community and making hasty generalizations. We are not all just trolls or haters. My channel is a clear example of that. I make serious arguments and I spend the time researching and providing statistics and articles from professionals that relate to various topics that relate to MGTOW. And I know many other content creators who try to do the same. You claim to use facts, yet you don't even bother to prove and make a logical argument demonstrating how we are just trolls and haters. And what do you call a hater? Anyone who disagrees with you? Is that supposed to shame me in some way? I don't call you a hater for disagreeing with me. You think we're sad? I'll tell you what's sad. It's sad and pathetic to see how there is so much hate and misogyny in the MGTOW community. We really have people in MGTOW who hate half the population.
MGTOW, women are the enemy. Men need to understand American women are the problem. Every woman is bi. You just have to figure out if it's bisexual or bipolar. Truth, many are both. Certainly Western women are sociopaths. Wickedness is a woman. It's in the Bible. Demons, they need to be slayed and placed
into hell. MGTOW is definitely not a toxic community that has a lot of misogyny. Who would ever dare to think like that? Those anti-MGTOW are the true haters. Ooh. Oh, I can't take this anymore. But on a more serious note, I want to make it clear that I'm not saying every single MGTOW hates women, but there are many who do. Tell me what's so sad about responding to some of the toxic behavior and weak arguments made by the MGTOW community. What's truly pathetic is how many of these MGTOWs are just too lazy or apathetic to actually clean up the social degeneracy plaguing their community.
Where there's like this blatant arrogance, like we need to be saved or fixed. We don't need to be fixed by people like you.
Arrogance? You want to talk about arrogance, MAGA man? What's arrogant is how you think you know our community so well, yet in the very beginning of your video, you misrepresent us. Furthermore, as we will soon see, you can't even tell the difference between an anti-MGTOW and a MGTOW critic. If any community should be criticized for arrogance, it should be many people in the MGTOW community. There's this supremacist attitude in the MGTOW community where many MGTOW feel they are better than someone else because they are red-pilled. If you disagree, you're just an ignorant blue pillar. They prove it every day in the comments section when they constantly insult, slander, and gaslight us. Oh, boo-hoo, I decide to disagree with you. They think they are better than us. Well, I'm sorry. I decide to think for myself and have my own opinion, MAGA man. I'm not trying to save MGTOW because, let's face it, MGTOW don't want to be saved. It's just like you say. But let me tell you something, that's not why I'm here. I've said this since the very beginning when I started my channel. I'm here to expose why MGTOW is wrong and fight to contain the spread of the MGTOW movement. Many others believe what I believe, and that is reflected by the comments, likes, and the support that this channel receives. I would like to see MGTOWs become anti-MGTOWs, but I won't force them into that because I understand that people have free will. Many MGTOWs aren't open-minded anyways because a lot of these people often seem to resort to insults and name-calling. These types of comments I commonly see in my comments section just illustrate my point. It really shows how desperate these people are that they have to resort to insults and lies. It's truly sad. See guys, most of the time MGTOW is the rational and respectful community, and those anti-MGTOWs are just haters. But seriously, the insults and attacks from these MGTOW just makes me cringe. It's like we're back in middle school.
That's what MGTOW is in a nutshell. Men having each other's backs, watching after each other's sixes.
First of all, MGTOW is way more than that. Second, if that's MGTOW in a nutshell, then they're doing a terrible job. And let's be honest here, MGTOW is doing more harm than good. How is scaring and shaming men into being bachelors helping men? These MGTOW try to preach to us about how foolish it is for a man to get married, but they really have no credibility. What education relevant to the law do these people have? Do they know the laws of my state? Do they know anything about my financial situation? Do they know anything about the person that a man is dating? What do you know about my personal life or the stuff I face? In many instances, MGTOW's advice sucks because it's way too general to actually be effective. You think we are arrogant? No, many of these MGTOW are the arrogant ones. To think they can preach and advise us on whether or not we should marry a woman is comical. Especially when they don't know squat about the individual man watching their videos or the woman he's dating. How is shaming other men like myself for disagreeing with MGTOW helping men? These MGTOW love to preach about how MGTOW is so great and how it's saving lives, but what does MGTOW itself actually do? On a personal level, I believe that there are MGTOW men who actually help other guys out, and that's great. But the very nature and fundamental aspects of MGTOW do little to nothing to actually help men. And most of the time, MGTOW complain about problems instead of actually trying to solve them. To say MGTOW is helping men and saving men's lives is an insult to actual heroes who do something. Police officers, firefighters, and people who actually go out and do something, save people's lives. I may not agree with them on certain issues, but men's rights activists, instead of complaining about problems, actually do something, while many of these MGTOW just complain and tell you to give up and go your own way and give you advice that sucks. A community that successfully helps men is a community that is healthy. However, MGTOW is in moral anarchy. You have so much filth and degeneracy in that community. Not every MGTOW is like that, but there is a lot of garbage. I mean, come on, dude. You see it every day. We got MGTOW promoting porn. We got misogynists. And as I stated earlier, many of them, they don't care about that. They don't seem to care about how septic and toxic that community has become. If MGTOW cares so much about the community, if they care so much about men, they would actually be making active efforts to clean up the community instead of downplaying the problems and making excuses. The only potentially redeeming quality that MGTOW might have is self-improvement and self-actualization. However, there are things far more important than self-actualization, and becoming the best version of ourselves requires more than just the efforts of the individual. To become the best person that we can be, that requires not only individual effort, but it also requires community and things outside of ourselves. And that's something that MGTOW oftentimes fails to see. Speaking of helping people, I will say one thing about certain people in the anti-MGTOW community. What I find really sad is how we have these so-called serious anti-MGTOW YouTubers and people who claim that they somehow are leading the anti-MGTOW movement, yet they're silent. If these people are so serious about anti-MGTOW and being a leader, where are they? Where are they when we have extremists who are hurting the reputation of the anti-MGTOW movement, and these extremists continue to steal other MGTOW's content? The fact that these people are silent as this nonsense is going on is a sign of weakness. But what really concerns me, though, is MGTOW have this hate campaign where they are trying to smear the entire anti-MGTOW movement. And I fear that some of these MGTOW are trying to create a war between the anti-MGTOWs and MAGA Man. And that is evident by the fact how these people are so desperate that they are using shaming tactics and whatever insults they have to try to shut down and humiliate anyone who dare goes against the narrative. I don't want a war between us, MAGA, but if you start trash talking my entire community, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to say something, whether you like it or not. Alright folks, I'm going to end the video here. I was planning to include some statistics, facts, and explain how MAGA Man is confusing us with MGTOW critics. But I don't want this to be a super long video, so what I'm going to do is continue my response to MAGA Man and make another video or two responding to this video of his because I have a lot to say. I'm still going to remain subscribed to MAGA Man because I don't personally have any issues with him other than disagreeing with this video of his. People being critical of my community is not going to stop me from being respectful to other people on this platform. You know, and that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you found this video interesting, and get ready for the next video because I'll be coming armed with statistics and facts. Remember to subscribe and like the video. Please follow me on BitChute and Twitter. Is the anti-MGTOW community just a group of trolls and haters? Does MGTOW actually help men? Are MGTOW trying to goad people into starting wars with anti-MGTOW? Let me know in the comments below. My fair ladies and honorable gents, fare thee well.